Hi everyone, I'm Edita Sitar from Laundry Basket Quilts. Welcome to Quilting Window. I am so excited that you are here. We are working on our star upon star quilt along quilt. I am so happy with it. Everything is coming together so nice. You guys are working hard and I'm here for you to show you how I made the quilt. And I'm so excited because my blogs are coming together and I'm having so much fun. So come closer. Last week, what we did is create a beautiful little small star for our background of our beautiful star right here. And this is what we're gonna work on it today. But before we started, let's just welcome anybody that is new. If you're just joining us in, what we're using is our star upon star pattern. You can get the pattern on our website through just individual pattern, or you can purchase through a book. I pulled the page number 5. It's in front of me. This is the page that I'm going to be working from it today because I want to make this part of the block, and later on I'm going to show you how to set in the background stars into it. Next week we're going to talk about the sashing and corner star. Are you excited? If you do not have scraps in your stash, make sure you visit our website for the beautiful Primrose Fat 8 bundle. This quilt is based on Fat 8's cuts, so Fat 8 from your stash, your scraps, perfect for this quilt. But if you want it, Primrose collection is a perfect bundle to start. It's not enough for the whole quilt. You're gonna need a little bit more. I believe there is 82, 87 Fat 8s. The more the better. So go ahead, look at our housekeeping blog and pull those informations from our first blog for this event and you can start. I'm using for my quilt a Fat 8 bundle from Primrose, as well as I'm enjoying the Scrappy Light bundle. This is one of my favorite bundles. I'm going to be using my lights right here for the backgrounds in my stars, as well as I'm using some for the centers of the stars. You need a low light if you want a nice glow to your stars. So those beautiful lights are perfect. And notice I have some darker lights with a lot of fun color on it and a really nice pure light because I want my quilt to have a good contrast. So that's what I'm using for the background. For additional dark fabrics, I'm using Scrappy bundle dark. There are so many gorgeous color. Remember your pinks, you want to save majority of them. You need at least 9 of them for your sashings. And what I'm doing is I'm actually mixing and matching all different fabrics, and I already went and picked up a stash. Oh, those are the blocks. We did it last week. Are they cute? You're supposed to make 4 of those for corners, for half of them for the sides, for 1 star. So I hope you did it. I hope you did it. If not, it's okay. Just keep going and keep making it because we are so excited for you to join us. Now, when I have picked my Fat 8 pieces for today, I'm gonna need 9 of them. 9 of them to make 1 star. So right there for a diamond like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I want to talk to you about something that I think is very important when you make a scrappy quilt like this. I chose 9 Fat 8s. From those 9, I went ahead following the directions in a pattern. On page number 5, I pulled and picked and cut my fabrics. I need 1 strip, 2 strips, 3 strips, 4 strips, 5 1-inch strips from this one, 4, 3, 2, 1. I cut them. They are right close to me. And I just want to bring to your attention the rest of the fabric I put back into my stash with all my other fabrics. And I go ahead and create new color combinations with those fabrics. For example, let me show you. I just picked fresh 4 fabrics And those are the ones that I cut my strips. Notice some of them are smaller than other because, for example, from this one I already cut 5 strips, so I only have maybe 4 inches left, 3.5 to 4 inches. I can still get at least 3 strips out of it, and I can use them someplace else with other color combinations. And for example, this one, notice this first strip, I only cut 1 strip. So you want to use it in another block, and oh, does this look great with those colors? I'm definitely using it in this color combination. So you want to do that, mix and match, bring some pieces from another area. You don't want too many so your stars don't look very much alike like twins, but you want them to look like a family, so the same DNA going through it. So by putting those little pieces of fabric that repeat through the block here or there, your quilt is gonna be more cohesive. This is the rule of 3, I call it, for scrappy quilts. When I do scrappy quilts, I repeat the fabric 3 times in the quilt someplace. It could be center of a block, it could be maybe in a low sashing, it could be in a border someplace, but I like to repeat it because then it ties my quilt nicely together. So for now, I'm gonna put those fabrics, those leftovers, with my new fabrics and then start mixing and matching. And another thing I want to bring to your attention, for example, for our block, we use the pink to put it on the outside. Do you see, like right here for my sample, I'm gonna use this pink. I used leftovers from those pinks and also can pop them into the middle of the block here or there. The pink doesn't only have to be here, or as I used it in a big in my small stars, you can pop that little bit of pink. You want something to tie. You don't want just the pink to be here. You want it in the blocks as well. Not every block, but some of them. Okay, so that's about color. I hope I answer all your questions on that. If not, please make sure you join us on Friday for our amazing live show. On 11 o'clock every Friday, we have a live show. You can ask any questions about these projects or any other projects. I'm there to help you. But now, once I cut my fabrics, my 1-inch strips, I'm gonna go ahead and create group of them. I need 5 groups of 5 fabrics from my strips. And I start with my first fabric, I put it down, then I go ahead and grab my second fabric. I have 2 strips from that one. I'm gonna go and put it right there, and notice how I shift my color so that way I see my beautiful color combinations, just to make sure that everything is perfect. My third color, I have 3 strips. I'm doing it right here, 3 strips right there. And my next one, I have 4. Oh, I like that dark color. You really need to think about this when you're picking your fabrics. Make sure that you do have nice shading, but do it dark and a nice contrast of light, because that's what it gives you, that glow. Do you see right here? You want it. You don't want just like really nice and melting together. You want that nice contrast. You want that pop of color. So remember that this black is gonna do that for me. It's gonna give me a really nice detail in my star. So right there. Then my next piece is 5. That's the most you're gonna cut it out of one fabric, 5 strips. That's right there in the middle of the star, the circle that it's gonna hold it all nicely together for me. And I have this one. Then I'm going down on number of strips back to 4, and I'm now shifting my color up, Why I'm doing this? Because I need only 5 strips in one group and I already have 5, so I need to make sure I go up. Look at this, has 3. This is important. We're gonna take some time and lay this out. This is how I do this. A lot of you ask me, do you sleep at night? How do you get all this stuff done? I organize my work. I make sure I organize nicely. I prep it so I don't lose what I am working on. And boy, do I get sometimes lost in my scraps. Look at this now. I'm just gonna move it so you see the color, how nice it shift. Isn't that lovely? So this is my first, second, third, fourth, and fifth group of my strips. Now what I'm going to do is I fold them in half like this, stack them one on the top of the other to have it nicely organized. I focus on one at a time. I leave this alone one at a time, and now I'm gonna sew them to each other, just offset a little bit here because we don't want to waste. We're gonna be cutting it, and I am going to be sewing as sets like this. I'm gonna show you how I do it with my next steps. Please forgive me, the colors in my next steps are a little bit different. I just don't want to use all my beautiful fabrics on just the step by step. I want to also use them in my quilt. So just like I said, the first thing we're gonna do is line our pieces. Okay, lined our pieces so they are prepared to start being sewn together. And I'm gonna take 5 minutes to remind you guys, before you cut your strips, start your fabric or best press, use best press it from the back so they're nice and stiff and easy to work with. Then I'm gonna line this up front of me. I'm gonna use a beautiful 2370, or you can use, we have it also in my little box right here. Let me show you this one. This is 2325 Orifel thread. Any of those threads gonna work really nice. So use Orifel thread, Macrotex needle. I like to use the 70, nice, sharp and thin. And I'm going to go ahead, take 2 strips, place them right sides together, stitch. Then I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing right here. Place it right side together, stitch. I'm gonna press the seam up, open it up, and I'm gonna add this strip to it. And that way we have all strips sewn together into a beautiful, beautiful unit. And let me show you the unit. You're already waiting, ready, set, go. Oh, this is just to show you guys how I stitch. And look at all that I would have done is open it up. And what I like to do is just finger press it first. Finger press it. This cute little tool work really nice. We don't want to press it and stress the fabric too much. Then nicely with an iron press, when you're pressing, make sure you hold everything nicely in place so it doesn't do a wave for you. Once you finish, you're gonna go have a unit like this. I went already ahead and trim this side. How did I do that? I placed my ruler like this. I matched with the bottom seam. Perfect. And I went, cut it. Done. Now I need to shift my ruler, measure 1 inch because that's how big my units are right there. 1 inch from here to here because my strips were 1 inch. Then this needs to be 1 inch. Place my ruler this way and cut. And cut. And some of you have, look how cute, and I'm gonna cut 8 times. Of course, I want to finish all my strip sets, press them, sew them, press them, and then I'm gonna move on to cut. If you want to do one at a time, you can do it too. It's your quilt. I like to go and do the stages for my block, for my star, all the same stages. So right there I would have finished all my strips. Now move on to the cutting. Some of you have asked me about our Alaska ruler. Can I use Alaska ruler for cutting? Of course you can, because it's the best 45-degree ruler out there. Look at how nice, easy. I have a gorgeous point. I know exactly. Measure 1 inch and cut. Super. Move it over. Next one. Keep going like this. Cut it. So that is done. Now as soon as you finish cutting all your sets, and you're gonna have this set, another set, and you're doing 8 pieces from all those sets. another one. You're gonna have 5 of them. Then the next step that we're gonna have to do is it's going to be sewing, because we want to create a beautiful, beautiful diamond like this. I put that in the wrong place. This should have been right here. So look at, right away I can see exactly it was right there. I was like, nope, this color is wrong. So pay attention. Make sure you lay things up that you can line up beautifully to create a gorgeous diamond. As soon as you finish doing all of your sets, cut them, you're gonna go ahead and fold the pieces right sides together, and I pay attention to my seam allowances. I want them to go towards me, because when I'm sewing, I don't want to have them against my sewing machine. And as soon as I lined my pieces, I make sure right here, approximately 1/4 inch right there, and I check how my seams are matching. I gently open and I can see, ooh, they're matching pretty nice. So I can go ahead, grab a pin, and on angle pin this spot. This is gonna be perfect. Another one, let me match. Wow, another one matching really nice. Let me pin this spot. And you can either go ahead and place your pin this way, and you can see it came out right straight to the seam. Do you see what happened? Right through the seam. And leave this pin standing up. I gently, just gently pin it this way. Notice I didn't even grab the bottom part. I just grabbed the fold of the bottom unit. I just pinned this little fold, and now it's just waiting for me to have fun right there. And all that I would have done it is stitch straight down using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And I did that for you guys right here, straight down, open it up just like this. And all that you have to do is open this seam in the back, and you can do it first with our cute little pressing tool, just like that, with our little pressing tool, and then go ahead, press it with an iron later on. We're gonna have to sew sets of 2. We have 2 of them, and then 1 by itself, for a total of 5 sets of diamonds like this for one beautiful diamond. Oh, guys, I have few already done. Look at this. This one needs a little trimming, and how I'm going to do that is, as soon as I finish my diamonds, and you're gonna make 8 of them, okay? 8 of them, because you need 8 of them for a full star. There will be some half stars. For those, you're gonna need only 4, and there will be some corner star, and you need only 2 of them. You can make those corner stars or the half stars maybe from leftovers, just scraps. Really fun, fun, fun. And look at this. As soon as I finish, so make your main stars first, and then we work on those half and corners. Once you finish your diamonds, this is important. You're gonna place your ruler. Look at this. I'm looking at, ooh, pretty close, pretty close. But I could use a tiny bit of trimming, especially on those bunny ears. Something maybe move, something maybe stretch. I just want to show you how much this rotating table is the best investment. I made it for myself, because look at, I rotate and quickly trim, and let's see where we are right there. Beautiful diamond. A tiny bit, look at, it's just tiny bit of trimming those bunny ears, but now I know when it's gonna come to sew my diamonds, they are beautiful and they're ready for me. And how do you sew your diamonds together? We're gonna go back to our basic small star. Basic small star. Oh, you can also go to our video called 8-point star, when I show you just basic 8-point star. You're gonna take 2 diamonds, you're gonna place them right sides together, just like this. Of course, let me just stop for a moment. You decide now. Do you want the dark cocoa brown to be in the center and wave the star this way? Or would you rather have a light star glowing in the center and a beautiful pink surrounding? Now it's the time to choose. You know, you can reverse your pieces from the original thought. Now you get to look at it and you're like, I like it this way, but now I love it even more the other way. So now it's the time. Either way would work, but I'm gonna choose this to be in the center. I'm gonna place my pieces right sides together. I'm gonna pin it, and notice it when I'm pinning, I'm matching the seams and pinning right there. As soon as I pin it, I can go ahead and stitch. And of course, this template, it's not only good for trimming but also mark and mark, so you know where to stop and backstitch. This just gives you a perfect point for the center, so when you mark it you can pin it right there, and that way when you stitching you run over that, and then later on you're gonna have a nice center right there for your beautiful stars. You're gonna go ahead, stitch down, back stitch, and you end up with a set of 2 diamonds. And for 1 star you need 4 sets of 2. Once you make your 4 sets of 2, you sew them together to a half, then you sew them together to a full star. Open up the center. All those basic 8-point star directions are now coming in place. So thank you so much for practicing on your small star, because now you're ready, set, go, and you know how to do it. As soon as you finish, you can go ahead and now set in the background. And the background is our little stars, small stars, and our half stars. We're gonna start with our half stars. Just like for regular 8-point stars, we started with a triangle. This symbolizes a just basic triangle. You fold your star in half, you pull the point, then you're gonna set this in just by laying it down. I'm gonna use this to show you how to do it very quickly. I know you want to rush in your sewing room and start sewing, but just 1 minute. 1 minute. Look, I fold it, I place my star right over. There's a little bit more seams now, but that's okay. It's nice and big and easy to work with it. I'm gonna pin this point right there just to hold me in place. Start stitching, stop, back stitch, flip this over, finish stitching, and when you open it up, you're gonna have a beautiful perfect Y seam. You're gonna push the seam allowance to this area, and it's going to be wonderful. As soon as you finish your stars, you're gonna move on and do the squares for corners. As soon as you finish the half stars, you're gonna go ahead and set in the corner, or those little small stars in your corners right here in your block. You finish your block, make sure it's 12.5 by 12.5, and we are ready, set, go for our next week for our last piece, what it's sashing, and our little corner star, what you should be doing just perfectly because you have a lot of practice. Now, don't forget, you're gonna have some half stars. They're gonna go on the outside of your quilt, but for now, we're just focusing on making 1 block. But look at this. I have one of those ready, set, go with my half stars and a full small star set into the background. So we are building on, we are creating beautiful pieces, and we're learning so much. I wish you happy quilting, and I can't wait to see you next week for our last step of our Star Upon Stars quilt along, where we're gonna learn how to make a sashik corner star and how to put our pieces together. Happy quilting!